So the Boston Celtics just traded Jaylen Brown for Paul George, two first-round picks and two second-round picks. This is probably the most disappointing news as a Celtics fan you could hear, because you didn't even know that, or I don't think anybody knew that Philly was in talks to get Jaylen Brown. And this is just a raw take. This just happened about 5 minutes ago. I don't even know what to feel right now being a Celtics fan, a Jaylen Brown fan in particular, because Jaylen Brown has done so much for the city of Boston. He's always giving back, always talking to schools, helping the community, hosting events, trying to just educate black people in general, just in the city of Boston, state of Massachusetts. So just losing that figure is just terrible for the city, but the assets that we're getting back in return just doesn't logically make any sense. You can't. I know I'm naive and I'm biased and all these things, but you're telling me the relationship was that damaged? I'm seeing earlier today that he never requested a trade. So if he never requested a trade, I'd rather run it back. Like I don't, but you get Mitchell Robinson, you upgrade at the center spot. Now Kata can come off the bench as an amazing 6th, 7th man. Like, there were still moves to be made. Is there still a possibility of LeBron? Like, there's, oh my God, bro. This is honestly nasty. Now I don't want to make this sound like I don't like Paul George. Paul George used to be one of my favorite players. He used to be one of my favorite players in the NBA, but that was also 7 years ago. And he's also 35, 36 years old, and he's on like one of the worst contracts in the NBA right now, if I'm being honest. So we just get older, similar expense. I mean, we get 2 first-round picks. I'm not sure what years those first rounders are, but that's just kind of what it feels like. We just what are we gonna do? Like, Tatum, are you happy about this? Is this something that you wanted for the Celtics? You can finally say you have your own team. You can be like the solidified guy, even though I love the 1A, 1B thing. I think it was an amazing thing. Like, it clearly worked. They won a championship 2 years ago. I just don't understand this trade. I just don't understand it. Now, there has to be another move coming, but I just don't see who would want this asset of Paul George. Like, I don't want to just make it be like, oh, like, I don't want Paul George on my team, but like I genuinely don't. I mean that in the most respectful way. Like, I don't know. This is just surreal. And all my friends that live in Boston or live in Massachusetts, they're all mad. I haven't seen one single positive review about this trade. People are saying we should have done Maxey for 1 pick or 2 picks, and I don't know if that was on the table. I'm sure Maxey's untouchable for the foreseeable future. Like, could we have gotten Joel Embiid? I think I'd rather Joel Embiid. Wait, no, I'm joking. No way. Because I think he has he just signed an extension. I'm actually all set on that one. I'm sorry, I take that back, Joel. But Paul George, there's just no way this is the player in return. I'm seeing earlier possibility of Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot, and Klingon and picks, and then it turns to this. Oh man, I get it. Jaylen's getting a lot of money for, I mean, not necessarily that long of time. Oh my God, bro. I can't even say anything right now because I'm just so distressed. I'm actually genuinely so distressed because you have to understand, Jaylen Brown has been here for 10 years. 10 years as a Boston Celtics. Been a winner since day one. Been in 6 conference finals. Been to multiple championships. Won a championship. Won a finals MVP. Like, he's done everything. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't care what you say. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. The Celtics better retire his jersey when he's done, when he hangs it up when it's his time, because he's an all-time great Celtic. I'm gonna miss him, and I'm gonna wish him the best. I think this trade genuinely makes Philly better than us by a landslide. I was saying this yesterday to a friend. The East just keeps getting better, and it keeps getting better. It's getting better and better and better. The Raptors upgrade, and they get Kawhi Leonard. Now they get Jaylen Brown. New York is still a problem. If we play New York, say if we beat Philly in that 7-game series and we play New York in the next round, we're getting fried. Maybe we don't get swept, but we probably lose in about 5 games. I'll maybe 6 if we're lucky, if Brunson is off, but I doubt it because he's a monster. Halliburton's coming back to the Pacers. Like, there's just so many teams in the Eastern Conference that are getting better, and this is just a 7 steps back move that Brad Stevens just made and the front office of the Celtics just made, and I just don't see how you can go forward from here. Now, they do still have some young assets. They did re-sign Ron Harper Jr. Hopefully he can some of that magic from his little brother. I know he's signed a multi-year deal. We just literally got Mitchell Robinson today and Mike Conley. Pritchard, this means more. This means a bigger role for Pritchard. We're gonna need Derek White to come back and snap out of it. We can't have him shooting 30% and not even scoring 10 points a game in the playoffs. That is unacceptable. That can't happen. Maybe they move on from Derek White. I wouldn't have been mad at that. I was kind of hoping Derek White could possibly get packaged with Jaylen Brown somewhere so they could bring up the value, because I know he had a bad playoffs, but we're talking about one of the better guard defenders in the NBA that gets steals and blocks and can really pull it from the 3-point line. But I know he struggled. He has his struggles, but Derek White is still a great player. I wasn't very interested in the Jalen Duren sign and trade situation because given the money that he wants, I think Jalen is a fine player, but I just don't know if signing him to a max deal is what the Celtics need right now. They kind of need to do what the Thunder are doing. They kind of need to do what some of these younger, like the Spurs, like what they're doing. Keep getting assets, keep getting picks, and just using them and drafting right. Growing and developing their players right. I think that's what really needs to happen in Boston, and they haven't been able to do that for a long time because they've been stuck on this, this Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward timeline, to where it's getting to the point in the second apron era. It's really hard to pay multiple max guys or just have multiple bad contracts on a team and still really realistically contend. You just really can't do that in today's NBA, to be honest. And I really hope the Celtics have another move up their sleeve. There's no way they're going into the season in October with this roster. If they do, it's going to be very hard for me to watch Celtics games. I'm going to be brutally honest. There's just going to be better teams on League Pass. Like, I think I'd rather watch. I know I'd rather watch Minnesota with LaMelo Ball and Ant. I'm definitely interested in Washington if they keep AD. They got AJ, who's also from Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Mass. And they got Trae Young. I don't understand the Trae Young extension. I don't know who your competitor is at that price point, but it's better to have a player like Trae Young, because with these new lottery odds, you don't want to have that risk of bottoming out, and you can't bottom out with Trae Young in your team. You're gonna be at least middle of the pack, if not one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. I could see them honestly being like a 6 seed and like missing the play-in and getting in the playoffs at a 6 if they're healthy and they are all together. Celtics, yeah, this brings them like really far back. They might be the 7th best team in the Eastern Conference now, if I really think about it. Because if I'm being honest, I'm taking in the regular season, I'm taking the Pistons, I'm taking the Knicks, I'm taking the Cavs. I might be taking the Raptors now with Kawhi Leonard. The 76ers, 100%. Now the Heat have Giannis. You don't know. We don't know. The Pacers are going to take a step forward. The Wizards are going to take a step forward. And I'm not even going to lie. Like, I think the Nets are bad, but they added a lot of assets. They added a lot of ball players. I don't know how that team's going to mesh and how it's going to work together. But they added players that can win basketball games in the NBA. I'll tell you that right now. So the Celtics, this is like I don't want to say a rebuild, but it's definitely a retool. They're not contending for a championship anymore. I already know for this 26-27 season, they are not going to be contending for a championship. They're just not good enough anymore. They lack that star power that they once had with both the Jays. This is a very, very disappointing breakup that I always found a little bit weird. I always found Tatum and Brown's relationship a little bit weird, but we're out looking in, so we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But it would have been really nice to see like Tatum step up and be like, hey, like, this is our guy. We love Brown. We want him here, and we're gonna run this thing back. Like, that's what I would have kind of expected them to do. Like, but I guess that's just the fandom in me, just hoping that would happen, because we really don't know if they both. What if they both wanted their own team? Tatum never said anything at all. Never addressed anything. Now I know some of the Boston fans think he should have. Others think it's not his business. I don't think he's forced to. I don't think he's forced to say anything, but it just leaves room for speculation, unfortunately, and we'll never know. I do wish Jaylen Brown the best. My little thing is that everyone's like, he wants his own team. He wants his own team. He's not going into a situation where he's going to have his own team. He's going to be playing on Joel Embiid and Maxi's team. I think it's Maxi's team personally. But Joel is just such a dominant force. It reminds me of Shaq and Kobe a little bit, like towards the end, that tenure, that Lakers tenure is like, Kobe's probably a little bit better than Shaq. But then when Shaq's having those dominant days, it's just, how could you how could you just not see him as just the one? Like, he's just the guy. But yeah, Jaylen Brown and Philly, that very, very interesting. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be an interesting team on how they play, how they're going to mesh. I'm interested in Joel's health because even without him on the floor, I think they could be very, very talented because essentially Brown is just going to absorb Oubre and George's minutes. And I think that's fine. I think his averages may drop a little bit. I don't think he's gonna be averaging 29, 5, and 5 again with those two guys, and the addition of, or I shouldn't say the addition, but the ascension of Edgecombe. And they just drafted Phylon. Let's see what Phylon does. I'm excited. I'm excited. I as a Celtics fan, I like this Philly roster so much. I'm actually genuinely interested to see them play. And honestly, I really like the Hornets too. I know the Hornets are young and they're still like a rebuilding team, but they're gonna be annoying to play. Like, they're gonna be hitting lots of threes, running the floor. They're young. Man, everyone wants to say Western Conference this, Western Conference that. I think both sides are getting pretty deep now. I think it's fair to say both sides are getting pretty deep. It's getting pretty deep, and I think the Celtics are getting low on the totem pole. This like 10, 11-year run of just always being in the mix, I think that might have just closed. I think that door might have just closed. It's a tough pill to swallow. But I still have faith. I think this is really good for Gonzalez, because I think Gonzalez and Shireman and Walsh and Harper, they're all gonna have so much more opportunity to play, which is good. Give into our youth, give them a chance to develop, and give them big minutes and big spots. I know they kind of folded last year in the playoffs, but everyone on this team's pretty young for the most part. Like, all the young guys, they're young, a little bit more mature. Like Shireman, he did a few years at school. I think he's Creighton. I can't think of it off the top of my head. My mind is just spinning right now just thinking about this whole thing. Like, we really saw Jaylen Brown play his last game in a Game 7 guarding Joel Embiid and losing. That's just such nasty work. As a Boston sports fan, you just kind of assume everything's going to go in the best way. But let me know what you guys think about this trade. This is my live reaction, first video on the channel. That's the Relia Report. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.